win CAF Cup, their life will change. I don't want to pronounce what I have to change your life, but just win it for the people of the state and then see whether you will be the same. The same thing applies to the Rivers Angel. Win the trophy, be the first that will go to play CAF in Africa, then your lives will also change.
Governor also promised to give 20 million naira to the players if they win their away match between Eyimba United of Aba this weekend. He also said the Rivers United and Rivers Angels football clubs will get a bonus of 10 million for any away match they win.
As a motivating factor, if you go and win a Yimba and come back, we'll give you 20 million naira. From henceforth, for the Rivers United, any match you win away, you have a bonus of 10 million naira. The same amount applies to Rivers Angel. We don't need to take second, we need to take first all the time. So I want to congratulate you in advance, and please utilize.
Correspondent Emeka Otoka reports that the chief coach of Rivers United Football Club, Stanley Aguma, commended the governor for taking them to Madrid in Spain. Now, reading this, I regret telling my parents I wanted to be a broadcaster. I have no idea why I didn't choose football, because, I mean, the governor is looking to change your lives. But let's look at this mode of motivation, this form of go and do, conquer, and come back, you'll become a changed person. Does this ever work? I'll start with you, Kosi.
Well, the first thing to point out is that there are two reasons why people participate in sports, two major reasons in my reckoning. One is as a recreational activity, and the other is as a job. So why do people do jobs? To earn money as a wage for the efforts. So professional football is like the regular kind of work. It has moved from playing football for recreational purposes to playing it as a job for which you'll expect to be paid at the end of your efforts. So when players step out on the pitch, they don't just now play football, professionals I mean, because they love the sport, they enjoy it, but they play football because it's their job for which they are going to be paid for, you know. So this kind of motivation works because it's an added incentive for success on the pitch of play. You liken this to what parents usually say to their words, little kids in school. If you take first this term, I'm going to buy you a big toy.
Yeah, it's usually a bicycle.
Yeah, bicycle. So, you know, the child has an extra incentive to work hard, to take serious their assignments and their academic work. So, yeah, it works in that light. I get that arguments exist that professionals should be able to do their job irrespective of whether you're dangling a worm on the hook for the fish, you know. But there is no doubt that when you think of, let's say, Rivers United are going away to play, away matches in Nigerian professional football is usually hard to come back with all 3 points. So, but now they remember that if we get a victory, I'll be able to get 10 million naira. Then it's extra motivation. So it does indeed work. So in addition to playing for your wages, you're also playing for a bonus, which, you know, is massive, you know, by the general standard.
All right, Femi, taking from what Kosi said, two reasons why players, you know, engage in the business of football. Wouldn't it be nice if they could combine both reasons? I do it recreationally and I also earn money. Does it have to be one or the other?
I think you can combine them. You can combine them. In some parts of the world, they combine them. But I'll pick this from what Kosi said. And in some parts of Africa and some parts of the world, it's mainly for one purpose, to make money. And not even recreation. We go in there, make money, and come out. Recreation can come out maybe after we have made money. But we go in there, make some money, and come out. Yeah, you can combine the two of them. Oh, I'm doing this because I love playing football. I want to play football. I've wanted to be a footballer. I've wanted to represent my country. I'm patriotic. I just want to represent my country. I just want to wear the shirt of my country or fly the flag of my country. We hear a lot of persons say that, but like I said, in some parts of Africa, in some parts of the world, it's just mainly to make money. Let's make money.
Yeah, and I think it's important to also add that you're a broadcaster, Sam. You can be a broadcaster till you're 80 years old, right? Yeah. But footballers' career is quite short, 10, 12, 15 years, and they're done with it. So I think they are also motivated by the fact that they could keep enough cash money in storage for when this imminent retirement comes. So, so it's one of the reasons why they just now not play football only because they love the sport. Money is involved, and it's a huge motivation for the players.
So let's take a literal case of moving mountains.
Yeah.
A team that stands no chance. I was talking to both of you, and I used the same example. You take 11 of me. Of course, you guys play football here, and you don't see me join because it's not one of my strengths. It only happens for me with video games. So 11 of me that do not have any kind of skill, and you say, Team Sam Oracle, go play, I don't know, PSG or Barcelona or a team that would whoop us back, forth, and any day of the week. And then I have this same motivation. The governor saying, you win that game, there's a 10 million naira bonus, and I'll give you 20 million plots of land. Do you see this motivation being enough to literally move mountains?
Well, it's not enough to move mountains, for sure. That alone in itself is not what would get you past teams. Okay, you need a skill set, you need to be fit, it's not enough. It's a combination of a lot of things to come out good on the day of a football match. But here's the thing, Sam. Over time in football, the best, most skilled hasn't always returned the victorious one. Okay, so look at this scenario now. I'm playing an away game, or there's 20 million naira waiting for me if I get a good result in a game. It's the reason why I would chase that ball for an extra 10 meters, even when I'm tired. It's the reason why I bust my lungs, stretch it to its very limit. Chasing the ball, I would have probably just giving up on. But I have an extra motivation to chase this a little bit further. So there are the physical side of things as far as football is concerned. Then there's the psychological part of it.
Okay.
This is why clubs employ sports psychologists. It's all about motivation, getting the players in the right mental state to be competitive and extra competitive on the day. So I might be coming up against you, who is obviously possibly more skilled than myself, but I want it more than you. Right?
Yeah.
And in this case, because there's an incentive waiting for me, which is 20 million naira and some other things as well. So it makes me give a little bit extra. They say possibly 100% is the maximum on a scale of 1 to 100. But because of what is waiting for me, I can give 120 and 130 or 150 in terms of effort. So that could make all the difference.
Femi, I'm certain Governor Wike is not the first to make this kind of promise. This mode of motivation has very likely... there's been an initiative some state governments may have taken on. I have no idea. I remember the Eimba and Ojuzo Carlo era.
Yeah.
I know that during that time there were promises made, and it really seemed like it worked because that team was really successful at the time. But let's look at the history of this kind of promise. Have state governments before now and people in positions of power before now who made these promises, have they fulfilled it?
Yeah, some of them have fulfilled it, some of them have not. And Oracle, just to put this promise is as old as the military government in Nigeria.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's as old as the military government. We've had military leaders in this country make promises to old national teams, junior teams, right from the military era down to 1999 when we moved to democracy. And not just the presidents or the military leaders, governors of different states promised teams in different states. Governors of states also promising national teams. We've seen that happen, and then we've also seen Nigerians, regular Nigerians, some of them with plenty of money, also promising teams. And at the end of the day, they go on to fulfill it. Most of them come late. Most of them don't come at all. Like it was just last week that we heard that the money that were owed or promised the Super Eagles team from 2013 African Cup of Nations by Aliko Dangote and Tony Elumelu, they are yet to be redeemed. I think $1 million and $500 they are yet to be redeemed. $500,000 they are yet to be redeemed from both men. But it doesn't mean the monies that were promised by some other persons are yet to be redeemed. Take for example when Dolphins won the Nigerian League then. Peter Odili was the governor of Rivers State. He bought them cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
He made the promise before, or
he made the promise
at the spur of the moment. He just got it for them.
I think it was at the spur of the moment.
Okay.
I think it was at the spur of the moment. We've had teams, leaders or persons in position say, if you can win the Under-17 World Cup, if you can win the Under-20 World Cup, we are going to give you properties in Abuja.
Yeah.
The Super Eagles team, both of them have properties in Abuja, courtesy winning certain competitions. It was recently that one of the older Nigeria, I think it was the 1994 team, alongside their coach then, was recently, through the Minister of Sports, they were given some of the properties that were promised them. It might not come early, yeah, some factors or the other, but you know that one day it will come.
Hopefully in your lifetime.
Yeah, hopefully in your lifetime.
Now, Kosi, if someone makes a promise such as this, and it's not fulfilled around the time you expect it to, is it okay for the players to go making those demands? Hey, sir, you promised us.
Yeah, a promise is a form of contract. Yes, but at the end of the day, you also have to point out that nothing was signed.
Yeah.
This is just verbal gymnastics, as some people put it. So, what document do you present to now say this person is in your debt for this? Matter. But I think we should understand the weight of promises. It's not something to play with, so that people will know that you're a man or a woman of your words when you say, I will do this, I will do that. But, as you said, you can only ask for what was promised to you. But can you, for instance, now pursue it legally? I don't think so, because nothing was strongly pen wasn't put to paper on these kind of things. Yeah. So that's the way I think about it at this moment.
Something you want to say something?
Yeah, let me paint the picture of what happens in Nigeria with this situation.
Yeah.
Now, they've been promised, if you win so competition, if you can lift so trophy, we are going to give you, let's say, cars. And 1 month, they've not seen it. 2 months, they've not seen it. 3 months, they've not seen it. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, they've not seen it. Do you know what happens? Hello? They pick their phones. The players now,
Okay.
or the technical crew, they pick their phone. Because they all have people in media.
Yeah.
Media have fun now. You know that car or that money that was promised us. We never see them more.
Okay.
And the media says, hey, are you serious? You people have kept quiet since. We are waiting for Oga now. You know, if we talk too much now,
You go be like
Oga
say-
will vex.
you go be like say-
So, media, shake something for us now.
Kosi wants to say something.
Yeah, just to buttress the point I raised earlier, these promises, let's say it's coming from a state governor, and at the time which he made this promise, some tribunal ruling takes him out of office and brings in a new governor, and you bring up such matters. You see, it now becomes clear that because no contract was signed per se, it is not the state per se who now owes you the redemption of this promise.
It's not the office.
But it's not the office, it's the man,
It's
the
the
politician
person.
himself.
Yeah,
So this is why it's hard to pursue, because it's more about the individual than the state as an entity. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up. For the record, who made this promise? Was it Mr. Nyesom Wike or the River State government?
It's the sponsors of the team.
No. I'm sorry, I don't get that. I don't get that. We heard the governor say, I will change your life. So, was that the position of the state government? Or, and again, I apologize, Your Excellency, but I have to call you Mr. because we want to see you as a man now.
In context,
or
yeah.
Mr. Nyesom Wike. You guys are the sports guys. Who made this promise?
It was the governor of River State.
Okay.
Speaking on behalf of the River State government.
So, that is the position of the state government?
Yes.
Do you agree, Kosi?
Until it becomes a problem. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Until it becomes a problem.
Okay,
Once it becomes disputed.
Just to be certain, let's hear what Mr. Wike said.
I hear you have CAF match. If you win CAF Cup, your life will change. I don't want to pronounce what I have to change your life, but just win it for the people of the state and then see whether you will be the same. The same thing applies to the Rivers Angel. Win the trophy, be the first that will go to play CAF in Africa, then your lives will also change.
Yeah, well, I heard him say winning for the people of the state.
Yeah, winning for the people of the state.
And I also heard him say what I have.
Ha. Because you're not helping this. You're complicating.
If you follow the
No,
governor,
because
you know
it's
he
true.
uses I a lot.
Because if just a hypothetical situation where as we pointed out, let's say a tribunal ruling or something happens and a new administrator comes in,
Yeah.
when you bring this matter to him, he probably will tell you, I didn't make this promise to you. So you see, then it becomes clear that there's obviously now something, there's a gap. Is it about the individual making the promise, or can you draw? I mean, is there something binding on the state government now in case the man himself who made the promise for some reason is not now there to fulfill it?
All right. Naturally, I would believe that 20 and 10 million naira respectively is a big deal for these players. And that brings the question about funding. How are these clubs funded?
State government.
State government?
Yeah, they're funded by the state government. Every year there's a budget, and that budget includes the teams in Rivers State. The basketball teams, the football teams, includes them.
And do they always get paid? Because, I mean, there are governments that owe pensions, even
Yeah.
owe their regular worker salaries.
Yeah.
So is there a priority for these players, or are they, like others, also civil servants that don't get paid?
They get paid. Yeah, once in a while we hear stories of them being owed 2 months, 3 months salaries. By the end of the day, they get paid. They get paid. I think at the moment, the Rivers Angels teams, they've been cleared. They are not being owed.
Okay.
Rivers United also, they've been cleared. They're not being owed at the moment. So they get paid regularly. It's coming from state government and the budget of the state.
All right, most times we want to follow international best practice. Coming up next, Kosi and Femi would tell me if that is international best practice for a state to fund the local team. Don't go anywhere.
We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts. And then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you.
On 92.3. Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We crossfire in the morning.
Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue.
And tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station.
All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We crossfire.
But just win it for the people of the state and then see whether you will be the same. The same thing applies to the Rivers Angels. Win the trophy, be the first that will go to play CAF in Africa, then your lives will also change.
Welcome back, still the Media Dialogue 92.3 Nigeria Info. The words and voice of the governor of River State, Governor Sam Wike, saying some lives are about to change. My guests have said that they truly believe it is a position of the state government. So hopefully this promise gets fulfilled. Now, as before the break, how are these teams funded? And well, they said that there's a budget that the state handles internationally based on standards. Is this what happens in other parts of the world?
Well, in some parts of the world, yes. In some other parts of the world, no. The ideal situation is that sports should take a life of its own and become independent of government patronage. In Europe, for instance, in Spain, in England, in Germany, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yeah, so they are not relying on government to provide the funds. There's an ecosystem that makes it self-sustainable. Ticket sales, TV rights, endorsements, adverts, companies and brands who want to partner with these clubs, and that's the reason why they're able to pay as much as £500,000 per week, for an individual to just play football. So there's a lot of money, and it's certainly not coming from the government.
So in those countries, what do their Ministry of Sports do?
Regulation and policy. But I also have to add that some things happen that also expose the fact that at the end of the day, they cannot be completely financially independent of the government, because the COVID-19 situation in England, for instance, has made the UK government to give bailout funds to clubs in the lower leagues. But this is an extraordinary situation. It is a movement away from the norm. So the thing is, football, sports in this part of the world hasn't gotten to that level. So it's not self-sustaining. It relies heavily on the government to provide funds for it to keep running.
I'm glad you added the words lower league, because I was thinking of the UK government helping Man City, and it just the picture it just did not connect. So thanks for adding that, Femi.
Just to add to what Kosi said, now you asked what the Ministry of Sports or the relevant authorities in those countries do. Now, this is what happened in the English Premier League because of the COVID-19. When it became high, the Premier League looked at the government. I think this is your ball to play. Our work is to make sure we have the league, fix the schedule, just run the league basically. But now we are talking about health, and it's beyond our pay grade. What should we do? And then the government says, okay, yes, we are taking over from here. We are going to suspend every sporting activity. That was what the government did. And that was the only interference the government has done in years when you talk about the Premier League. That's the only interference. We are shutting down every sporting event, including the Premier League. And when it was time for them to open, they kept having meetings with the government. They kept having meetings with the guys in the House of Commons. Should we open the league? The investments, the monies that the UK government was losing with the Premier League being shut down. And at the end of the day, they decided how they were going to open the league. The government now gave them procedures to follow for the league to run and to be running at this particular time. No fans, no this, no that.
So what's a better system, the state funding the clubs or what you have in other countries?
No, for me, it's the ideal. What should be is the sports running itself and not be at the mercy of government. But
there must be regulations.
Yeah, there must be regulations, of course. And I think there's no problem if government at this time, when sports hasn't taken a life of its own, is funding it, because like I said, it has the potential to be a multi-billion-dollar industry, which can of course be taxed. And also there's a lot of talk about rising unemployment figures. Sports can take a lot of people off the street.
Brilliant.
Not just the athletes themselves, but the entire value chain of it, including the man who will now sell ways close to the stadium, because there's a constant flow of people along that. So it's the value chain is immense. So while it is still not able to stand on its own feet, government can afford to provide the crutches for which it can walk on at the moment until it gets to a point where it becomes what it should be.
When you said the value chain, the first position I thought about were the ball boys.
Yeah, see?
Something.
That just came to mind. Am I too old to be a ball boy?
Yeah, you are, of course.
I
just to quickly add to what Kosi said. Now, you asked for an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Government or the sports taking care of itself.
Yeah.
Now, this is what happens when you have government sponsor it. Now, we write to the government and say, we're yet to receive our 4-month salary. What's the latest? We have not been paid. And then your reply is, the governor is busy at the moment. The state is handling security matters. The state is handling the roads that we are constructing. These things are not easy for the government.
That's right.
So bear with the government. The government is paying attention to you, the government to get to you. But it's not supposed to be like that. The government should take care of those things and let the sports take care of its own things. You will hear Premier League players say, we are waiting for the UK government to construct a road. That is why we have not paid anybody. Sports is taking care of itself. They're generating huge amount of money, and they're remitting some huge amount of money as tax and in other forms back to the government.
Okay, Femi, I'm glad you brought that up. So let's come back home. How well has the River State government supported sports?
I want to give them. You said sports now. Okay, I want to give them an average score.
What's your definition of average?
Done well, but can still do better.
Ha. Kosi?
Well, I've only been in this state for a short time, but in that time I've been thoroughly impressed by what I've seen. Maybe the reason is because by comparison, it may not be the best as of yet, but you compare it to, let's say, what's happening. I'm talking football now in Imo State with Heartland Football Club. Then I'm sure those players would envy, their counterparts at Rivers United, for instance. You talk about Rivers Angels too. I was at a pitch at the University of Port Harcourt to watch Rivers Angels play against Abia Angels. And the ladies from Abia Angels came in a bus. I wouldn't be comfortable traveling with, even if I was the only one in it. They had to lap each other to and fro. I mean, so you compare that to what you have in River State, and you give the government thumbs up. It may not be the best, but when you compare it to what you find elsewhere, I mean, in the MPFL, we saw a team travel on a trip of more than 5 to 6 hours, arrive at the pitch, go out to play, and we saw the result. Some of the players collapsed on the pitch. So logistics weren't taken care of by the government who sponsors them. You can't find that happen, in River State. I can't extend this now to maybe other sports that are lesser known, but from the one I've observed more directly, football, Rivers Angels, Rivers United, I give them a really, really high grade.
Now, that's where a lot of persons are throwing sticks at the state government. It's not football only. The state government look like they're focused only on football. There are so many sports that Rivers men and women, boys and girls are engaged in, and little attention or no attention is paid to them. That is why I said I'm going to rate them average.
Okay.
For the average score is from football alone. Now, yes, we've had the wrestling festival in Port Harcourt. We've had the badminton championship in Port Harcourt, but it shouldn't end with those events alone. It should not end with those events alone. River State is big enough to invest and get all the sports running and flying and kicking. We're having some sports complain that nobody's paying attention to them. Okay. They are looking at the Rivers Angels and Rivers United teams getting money, getting buses. They don't even have a vehicle to go to their training grounds. They have to lap inside taxis in Port Harcourt.
Now, is there a rule that states that female teams must have the title Angels?
I had this argument with Ekpo, especially when you realize that all the angels in the Bible were male, in quote. Michael, Gabriel, there was no Gabriela, there was no angel Michelle. They had angel Gabriel, angel Michael, angel, and it's a bit of a paradox that you have Rivers Angels and you don't have Enyimba Angel. You know the men teams.
If we're going into that, I would want to say the Angels are genderless. I don't think of them in that light. But we have to admit that those names
because
they go more with male than female.
Yeah.
There are no rules, but I would say for the Rivers Angels and the Angels thing, it's the same situation when someone will ask you, why do African national teams always have animals attached to them?
Okay. So how many Angels do we have? Because you mentioned Rivers Angels and Abia Angels.
Ibom Angels too.
Angels.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can name them all now.
If they are not angels, they are Amazons. Nasarawa Amazons.
Well done. Wonder Woman.
There's Pelican Babes, huh? No.
Right.
Oshun Babes.
Yeah. Pelican Stars.
Oshun Babes.
All right, so the governor has promised that the lives of players in River State, of course, at the local leagues, will change. What do you make of that? 08179230002. 08179230003. 08179230007. WhatsApp, as always, is 08090306416. And I would like some angels to call because we have a dedicated line for you. That's 08179230009. Please turn off your radio as you call us. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Sam, and good morning to my sport gang.
Morning.
Good morning.
Honor Kosi and Femi Balogun are great now.
We greet you.
All right. Based on what we just listened, first of all, let me make an observation. When somebody uses the word "I," it's synonymous with that person's own personal position. I get familiar with my governor when he always say "I" in place of everybody in River State. He did not say the state government or the people of River State. He said, "I will change your life." So let me take that one out there. So it's his own personal. It's not speaking for me. Those boys deserve even more. Those boys have been representing us very well. They deserve all the accolades. You cannot just come out and make it like you're one of their saviors. They've been doing quite well. And that leads to my main point. Such a remark can cause a ripple effect. It can bring a bounce back effect in the sense that the pressure is on for these boys. And such pressure can really make you to fail. He talked about you preparing for an exam and not wanting to fail. I think Nakosi was the one that made that point. Because of your parents are giving you an incentive. It can make you to prepare so much that you will overdo it. You either cram or you do all the things. Even the day you will not sleep well because you want to get it. And you go there, you become blank and empty.
Really?
Because they play. Sorry?
Is that how it works?
No, sometimes you become blank. I have a friend of mine, he's very smart guy in my university days. He was all over because he had the sense that he would become the best student. So he cried, he did the whole work in the night and everything. He could not sleep. He went to the exam when he was blank. Absolutely blank. He said it's why after he came out, he said he messed up in the exam. He's our best student.
Is it not better you're blank from too much reading than blank from not reading at all?
Well, if you want to use that way, it's correct.
No, choose your blank. Which of the blanks do you prefer?
Well, blank. Of course, blank for reading now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sam.
Good morning.
Okay, good Michael calling from Donobu.
Go ahead.
First of all, I would like to tell Mr. Governor that even if he likes, he can put £100 million on the table of Rivers United. It does not mean that they are going to win my darling team.
Wow.
Yeah, so even if he likes, he can use all the taxpayers' money, give it to Rivers United. They won't win us. So, but that one aside, but I'm just hoping that tomorrow EFCC will not start coming at his gate, because the way he's dishing out money, I'm not sure these monies are being budgeted. Because in everything that happens in the state, it has to be under budget. So this one he's dishing out 10 million, 20 million. I hope it's also budgeted.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Morning.
Well, Rivers United, the young men, the footballers, they are lucky because they have a man that has a little knowledge of sports and they love sports somehow. At least, if it's the previous governor, we know how we supported them to go and sleep, carry their mattress to go and sleep on the government gate, requesting for their stuff, for their money. They are just lucky anyway. I saw the boss. I was so jealous. I wish I can see such a thing in Imo State. For now, we don't have any governor that have a sport as hard in Imo State. You see, as we suffer them now. So then now we don't get a person where at least like sports more. They should just make use of the opportunity. But for that word, my brother, now him make the promise, so not the reverse.
Thank you very much.
Make the promise.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Please turn off your
Good
radio.
morning.
Good morning.
And Onakosi and Fembalogo.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Captain Williams. I'm a sport administrator. I actually want to commend the governor for the good things he's doing. Not every governor will do what he's doing. You could see some persons I wish that governor is trying just to do a little. As the purest power of sports in Africa, Governor Wike is doing his best to motivate the boys. And everybody will want that. Everything, I wish he can just extend this hand of donation to some of us down the lower league. It will serve as a moral booster. And like Onakosi said, there's a ripple down effect on all this to the state entirely. When money is like this, you see people give out their best, and people will always work. Now that Rivers United are winning matches, people are coming to the stadium to just want to see them play. There's a lot of expectations. You understand? Now this one gives more expectations and moral booster for them to perform. I don't think it will weigh them down. And the one people are saying, the governor says, let them trade the baby with the bathwater. We shall know is Rivers State money.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, as Kosi said, you never can tell until there's a problem. So it's important we know who to hold. Well, we have comments on WhatsApp. Kosi, why not use another team apart from Heartland for your example? Obina. The most.
Yeah.
In entire
Should
country.
I see, the last game Heartland played, they used Biro to write their names and their numbers, and they've been fined by the league management company.
On the jersey.
Yeah, on their jerseys. They use Biro to write their name and their
Are you
numbers.
serious?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
but just to be fair to them, we're hearing from some quarters. This is not official communication yet, but said it was a matter of a clash in color of their away jersey and that of the home team, so they had to improvise. But
you should
their
know the
problems
color
are
of the
documented.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. See, no vex. Nothing beats. Are you kidding me? No,
You should
no,
know
come on.
this is a
It
communicated
is impossible to be fair to them from that position. It literally is impossible. Anyways, hopefully it gets better. What Oga Wike said is a motivating factor. It's motivation to the boys, because that's what we Nigerians like to hear and see for us to do well. But it's not really supposed to be so. This guy should put in their best without being offered any gift. Boma from Abisa says. Femi, good to hear your voice again on Nigeria Info. Thought you went well. He's now, as I said earlier, if you listen to the intro, undisclosed transfer fee to Wazobia, so it's just a visit. He will obviously leave in a matter of minutes. Thank you, Arasilia, for sending that. Our final call. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Bright. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Good.
Yeah, my brother, I love your program so much. But I was expecting you to correct somebody that was comparing EFCC and what our governor promised Rivers United players.
Okay, so help us correct him.
Yeah, because you shouldn't bring in EFCC there. This is not first time a governor of a state motivates his own team. Even when Super Eagles were playing matches in Rivers State Akwa Ibom, I remember them. Wike offered them, promised them how many goals. Akwa Ibom State governor did the same thing. I don't see anything wrong for the governor motivating Rivers United players. Telling them, even the ones who watch in Europe, World Cups, other countries, we don't hear from you people that are telling us how some countries give their players, motivate their players with the dollars, euros, for them to perform well. So if it is not happening in your own state, that shouldn't make you to be jealous and angry, telling the governor, I hope EACC will not come for his death.
All right. Thank you very much. Now over to Facebook. Thank God that Weibu says that 20 million the governor promised Rivers United can be channeled to one of the secondary schools in the States. Alova David, a very good one from Governor Wike. I hope Kogi State Governor takes a cue from this. The Kogi team...
They don't have a team in the MPFL.
They don't have it.
Lower league, Kogi
they
United.
don't have a team.
In the MPFL, but in the lower league.
Oh my goodness. Vincent, nice move by the governor, but Aimba would still surprise Rivers United. Experience matters. Okay. Well, hoping this works. Thank you very much, Kosi and Femi, for your time. Hopefully you follow up to ensure that the governor fulfills this promise.
Well, that's what we're here for. We keep our eyes on the news all the time. I mean, arguments can exist as to whether it's the best way to allocate state funds, given the opportunity cost and all, but there's no doubt that this is going to be a huge motivation for Rivers United and Rivers Angels going forward.
All right. Today's Friday. There'll be Football Republic tomorrow on Wazobia.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
As
And
usual.
Kosi, when next will you be on radio?
Yeah, we'll be here for Football Frenzy. First off, we'll be here this evening for extra time.
Okay.
Yeah, 7:05 p.m. Then over the weekend, talking sports and Football Frenzy. Yeah, for sure.
See, when other people promote their show on your show, that should tell you something about your show. Thank you, gentlemen, for making the time.
All right, it's a pleasure.
11 o'clock is upon us. The news happens, and after that, we talk important things. Don't go anywhere.